Good morning. We are doing the Uddhav Gita, last message of Sri Krishna. We had done chapter 9 till verse 9. We are going to redo the verse 9 because it is in continuation to verse 10 onwards. So, verse 9 says, O best of men, people deluded by my Maya describe various things as a means to the highest good, according to their occupation and taste. Now, what does this actually mean? It tells us that people get deluded by Maya. Maya is the illusory potency of the Lord. Maya has a way of creation of illusion. Let us look at, say, a simple object called the apple. Now, when you buy apples outside, if the apple looks green in color or it looks yellowish, light orange, would you touch it? Maybe you will not. But there are certain apples which are absolutely green in color and you will still purchase them. Isn't it? So in certain cases, the object has appearances which can be highly deceptive. Deception is the main criteria for Maya. Maya is deceiving us. When we look at a handsome or a beautiful person, we get carried away by that person. The same individual may have a very mean nature. In certain cases, you feel sorry for a lame person or a blind person. Why do you feel bad about this person? Because you feel they have certain problems in their world. But I have personally seen these kind of people using that to their advantage and getting ahead of the game. The lameness of a person or the blind, they use these kind of things. So can you see Maya can play a beautiful role? Maya is also very, very important for an individual to reach the Lord also. Now, deluded by my Maya, he says very clearly, Krishna says that people deluded by my Maya. Now, Krishna is a dark person. Around him are the gopis. He is surrounded by his wives. He is surrounded by gold, jewelry, pomp, splendor, you name it, everything. It is his creation of Maya. Understood? Many a times, the gurus themselves create Maya. They create Maya in a very beautiful manner. They say, I am a poor man. They will dress in ragged clothes, torn clothes. They may stay in a masjid like Sai Baba. They may stay in a temple like Ramakrishna Paramahansa. They may stay on the roadside like various other sages. But when you look at them, they give you an idea that they are absolutely nobody. And yet, the same person, you may go and ask for riches, children, husbands, wives, your ranks. How does a person who wears tattered clothes or looks like a complete uneducated person can grant you so much? Think about it. People go to churches and pray to a half naked image of Jesus Christ on the cross. He is dying, right? And yet you will go and pray to this Jesus saying, please save my child. Please save my parent. Can you imagine that? In most of the hospitals, there are small, kind of a church, a place where you can go and pray. And there, the person goes and prays for somebody to be saved. Who saved Jesus Christ on the cross? Think. Isn't that Maya? Maya is fantastic. So likewise here Krishna says, people deluded by my Maya describe various things as means to the highest good. So let us recap yesterday what we were talking about. Some people get so deluded that they use the same words which are mentioned in the Vedas and twist them in such a way that these words have completely a different meaning. The meaning which is conveyed by these kind of deluded people is absolutely wrong. Do you remember the story of Karna? Karna says in the battlefield to Sri Krishna, I have done so many charities. I have been so kind. I have been so good to people. And yet, why are you not kind to me? He's asking Sri Krishna these words. Why are you not allowing me to be saved? Today, the same weapons, the same knowledge which I have got from my Guru is not getting used. Parshuram had taught him, and the same knowledge was redundant. Why is it so? You see, you may be good-hearted person. You may be like a Karna. You are donating to charities. You are doing good to the people, supposedly good to the people. But when you carry ill will against anybody, and if you go against the dharmas and the shastras, you become adharmic. And at such times, the lie which he told his Gurudev came to bite him. He was devoid of the knowledge. He was devoid of the weapons that he was supposed to use. Always remember, these people are deluded. Everybody sides with Karna because they see him as a character who is getting crushed. But Krishna does not see it that way, because this verse is valid for him. You cannot tell that I am a good person by doing good to some people. I'm sorry. You are a deluded person if you have ill will in the heart against anybody. That is adharmic. It is not with the dharma, it is adharmic in nature. And the same Vedas and the Shastras and the knowledge which you think you have gained will come to bite you. Always remember it, you have to be on the path of dharma. If you are doing good, you do good to everybody in this world. You cannot use your discretionary power just because you think you are somebody great. You cannot be a karna and use a discretionary power and side with the adharma. I hope you understand this verse. It is called the misrepresentation of the Vedas and the Shastras by people who do not have any knowledge whatsoever. They get deluded by the Maya. So now we will carry further on and let us see what these people are up to. We are doing chapter 9, the last message of Sri Krishna, Uddhav Gita, verse 10. As means to the goal, some mention duty, others fame, self-gratification, truth, control of the senses and control of the mind, yet others mention splendor, gifts, food, and some again sacrifice, austerity, charity, vows, or normal rules, universal in particular. Now, how do these deluded people talk? So he says, some of these people who are deluded by Maya say that I am doing my duty. Now, duty is as per the Shastras. Duty is as per it is written in the Vedas. They are deluded people, remember this. Delusion is so strong that they think that it is their duty. Understood? Some think that I have to achieve fame. And what are the examples that they give? Didn't Sri Ram get fame? Didn't Sri Krishna get fame? I am a part of Sri Krishna. I am a part of Sri Ram. So I also require this fame. Can you imagine this deluded person are comparing themselves to such great personas? I mean, who has given them the right to even think like that? Those are avatari Purushas. Krishna is the Purna avatar. How can you compare yourself, an average, below average human being, into somebody who is as great as Krishna or Ram? Please do not think that their fame is what you can get. No. Self-gratification. I want this because of this reason. It is mentioned, you see, charity begins at home. It's a great verse, it says, oh, charity begins at home. So I first got to gratify myself. I should not be bothered about other people. No. This is their delusion. Self-gratification is one of the greatest delusions. I can buy the best stuff for myself. I can be good looking. I have to do this. I have to do that. For myself. The others? God is going to take care of them, The truth. They distort the truth. It is whose truth? It is their truth. By the way, their truth is completely falsehood. Have you not met people who will say, I was just going to do it? Well, you were just going to do it? Yeah, you told me, and I was just about to do it, right now. Some people will say, yeah, I got a dream that today I was going to do this. But do you remember I told you many years ago or many days ago about this thing? And what happened in the ensuing number of days? They will give me a stupid laughter and then they will come up with reasoning. That is their version of truth. Their version of truth is absolutely wrong. It is not as per the Vedas and the Shastras. Please remember this. Control of the senses. I have stopped eating non-vegetarian. I don't eat onion. I don't eat lasun. Well, garlic, it means I don't eat any of these things, I have changed myself. Or is it? I have become vegan. You have become vegan. Is it? Very good. And nowadays, where do you go and eat your so-called burger? I eat it in McDonald's. Wow! Look at that audacity of that person. Can you imagine this? There is no way of knowing how that is done. The idea which every individual has that they are in control of their senses, they are completely off the center. You can find even the greatest of the leaders doing all kinds of wrong things. The idea that I have controlled my senses is wrong. I have people with me who will say, yeah, I am a diabetic. I do not eat anything, Is it? The oil which they use is the worst oil in the world. They will go and have a little stuff outside. Little, little. What do you mean by little stuff outside? A fried product eaten from outside? I mean, just imagine that. The savories. Can you please get me this savory and that savory? You see, I have given up completely sugar, sugar I have given up. Can you get me, the sugar-free cutlery or this or that from the shop? Common sense will tell you that it is not about the sugar. It is not about sugar-free. It is the amount of sugar, carbohydrates that is available otherwise. So Kaju Katli doesn't have sugar. Can you imagine? Great question mark, big question mark. You think sugar means what you get the white grains outside, the white ones? No, sugar does not mean that. Sugar comes in various forms. It's a form of a carbohydrate. And it can be any. And these are deluded people. Okay, I don't eat anything. This is what is called control of the senses. They have completely lost their senses. They do not have any idea that this is what they are doing. Controlling the mind. I think this is a great subject and I don't think I have to spend too much time on this. Is there any person who has a control over his mind? Ask yourself that question. The answer is very, very transparent. I cannot control anything for that matter. My mind? No. Nobody can control the mind, okay? So let us drop this subject and move ahead. Yet others mention splendor, gifts, food, and some again sacrifice. Yeah. Every year I go to the temple and I give donation. I drop in the hundi. When I pass from the temple, I do namaskar. I sometimes enter the temple and I do the puja and I do the, give the prasad. There sometimes in a year, I give, Brahman bhojan. You are anyway going to go to hell, sir. Guaranteed. You think that is the way to reach God? This is the delusion which Krishna is talking about. He says, Maya is so strong that you have to ensure that all this that you are talking about is not being spoken. It says, I have given gifts. I brought this when I went on my journey. I brought a very nice sweater. You bought one sweater? How many clothes did you buy for yourself? 20. And you bought one sweater for somebody. Wow. That's a very nice. If you are interested in going to reach this goal called Krishna or the divine consciousness, are you not supposed to look at the world as equal? Can you understand this? That's the first thing that you need to avoid. People have this habit of saying, I have nothing to wear. Nothing to wear? If you dig up their cupboard, there will be about 50 items they can wear, and last their whole lifetime. Lifetime. The greatest of the greatest people in the world, the richest of the richest people, they have just a few pair of clothes. One grey t-shirt, one pair of jeans, maybe 2-3 jeans, maybe a 5-6 grey. But they are multi-billionaires, by the way. They don't have to make a show of themselves to anybody. Biggest advantage of a person who has less number of clothes is he doesn't have to spend time thinking what to wear. Got it? You don't have to think. You just have to wear one jean and one grey t-shirt. What is the big deal in trying to think about it? Clothes makes a man for frivolous kind of people. Please understand this. You are never reaching the top. You can wear the fanciest of the clothes. To reach the top, like Einstein, have you seen how he dresses? I used to dress, rather, he's dead. Mark Zuckerberg, the way he dresses, wow. I mean, think about it. Sam Walton, the way he used to dress, I have never seen him in any fancy clothes. Think about it. These are great people. They become great not because of the dresses or the way they are. They become great because of the thing that they carry there. Maybe the brains that they have. So do you understand the splendor that we talk about? I want to do this and forget about it. The charity. We have great charitable people. I spent $5 billion in charity. Doing what? Wow. You see, I take a vow that after this, I will never drink coffee in this world. And the next day the thought comes, what will happen to Starbucks after that? You see, it is because of me Starbucks runs. So what does the person do? I think I'll have little coffee, little. And this is something which people have to understand again. And this is the strangest phenomena I saw. A person says, I drink little tea, little tea. The person is suffering from diabetes, hypertension and many others. I drink little tea. Oh, little tea. You are not supposed to drink even that little tea. Common sense will tell you that in that little tea, to make this much cup, you have already put 2 spoons of sugar in it. Yeah, you have to distribute it to 4 people, no? You see, when you make this much cup of tea, okay, you have already dissolved 2 spoons of sugar in it. Alright, and now you are taking little tea. Don't you think an equivalent quantity of sugar is there in that? How can you talk of little tea? There is no common sense in this kind of behaviors. Understand one thing, somebody told me that, oh, I have a problem with my fat, this content, that content, I will give off 1 meal a day. What are you talking about? Giving 1 meal a day is not what the doctor ordered. Yesterday I wrote, today the world is suffering from pandemic. There are so many dreadful diseases out there. I mean, please don't go to these quacks, holistic medicines and all this kind of nonsense. Please understand one thing, if you have to undergo surgery, go to a surgeon. If you have to take an injection of some, ethical medicine, please go and take that injection. Go to the hospital or doctor or whoever concerned. Don't go to these quacks who are talking about holistic medicine, new age medicine, this medicine, that medicine, aromatherapy. What nonsense are you talking? Aromatherapy they will do, but they will not use deodorants. I mean, just think about it. Aromatherapy because the room has to smell nice. But deodorants, no, you stink. The whole world is devoid of toilet paper. Do you know that? In Australia, America and all these places, the first thing that goes out of the shelf is called toilet paper. In India, we don't know toilet paper. And we don't have coronavirus that much, okay? We have some 200 odd cases and we don't use toilet paper and we don't put mask and we don't wash our hands 100 times. Because first and foremost, we don't have so much of toilet paper also. One toilet paper roll will cost you so much. You know, you have to cut the tree, you have to make it into this. We wash our ass with water. WATER, H2O. Simple. It is clean. You are not going to waste water so much, and you are not even going to, cut a tree just because you have to waste toilet paper. Use your brains right now. Okay? What toilet paper are you talking about? The Japanese understood it from us, I think. So they have the hand faucets, Toto, that's a great brand to have worldwide. This is the kind of Vedas which people misinterpret. It's cleaner. Wow. So anyway, the reason why I said this is because ahead it is mentioned, the moral rules, universal rules. The universal says it's like this. I have to do like this. Austerity, charity, vows, moral rules, universal and particular. So these are the things which these great people who are deluded think that I am doing something nice and I am using the Vedas and the Shastras. Actually, they are misrepresenting them. Got it? So we move to the next verse. We are doing Uddhav Gita chapter 9 verse 11. The result attained by these means, being the outcome of work, have a beginning and an end, produce misery and end in infatuation. They give but transient joy and are attended with grief. Everything that we have mentioned in the last 5-6 verses, where a person uses the wrong words, the same words are misrepresented. What happens to this person? In the beginning, he is going to feel nice about it. I am doing good to this world. I am such a nice person. I don't have ill will against everybody. I have ill will against very few people, you see. The rest of the people I am very nice with. This kind of a person. Another person who says, I am a very good person. I do charity. I follow the laws. I go to the temples. I go to the churches. I do this. I do that. I read the scriptures by heart. All these, you will get temporary benefits, sir. What are the temporary benefits? The temporary benefits are people are going to flock towards you. And they will say, you are such a great person. Especially in office, you will find if you try to act nice to some people and bad to some people, you don't even look at that person. But to some people, you are very, very nice. Oh, today is your birthday. Here is a gift from me. Oh, tomorrow is your Happy New Year. Here is a gift from me. And these people think that by giving such gifts, they are going to be very, very happy in this world. Please understand, this is called a transient joy. The transient joy does not last for long. Equanimity of mind, equipoise, handling everybody in the same way. That is what the Vedas are teaching, but this is the delusion which the people have, that I have to be good to some and bad to some. I will avoid these people and I will be good to these people. Wow, this is the thing. So here we come again. The outcome of work have a beginning and an end. There is always a beginning and there is always an end to it. It is not permanent. All these methodologies which we spoke about of attaining the highest are not permanent. They are temporary issues. What are the temporary issues? The temporary issues could be here on the earth, or the temporary gifts could be there in the heavens. Got it? In the heavens, you will be served by the 72 virgins. Of course. And the next day you're going to get kicked out. You got it? Maybe, Urvashi and Menaka and all these great, they will come and they'll be, oh, I'll dance for you, I'll sing for you, I'll do this for you. How many days? Doesn't last long. It all wears off very soon. So please understand this. Whatever good that you think you do in this world is not good for me. Krishna says so. Because you are misinterpreting everything. All scriptures, Vedas and the Shastras are misrepresented and misinterpreted. Next week we will be doing about representing it correctly. Today we will be finishing this verse and maybe the next one. So it will just give an idea of what these deluded people are up to. So there is always a beginning and there is always an end. To their beginning may be happiness, end will be sorrow. Think. This is a God-given child. People say these words, My son looks exactly like Krishna. My daughter looks like Radha. Well, they are going to come up with all kinds of diseases to you very soon. They are also going to, irritate you no end. Well, do you really want to know something? You are going to get fed up of your children. Because they poop too much, they destroy your happiness, and when they are not supposed to wake up, they wake up. You got the point or no? You see, there is a heroine in the Indian industry. And now she is not a heroine, she is a great writer. She talks too much. She says, nowadays I cannot write anything because my daughter has become overactive. Her daughter has become overactive. So all her attention which was there in this world of writing and doing all kinds of things is now thinking about her young daughter who keeps on throwing stuff in the air and doing this and doing that and destroying and doing all kinds of stuff. Do you get this point? The same thing that you thought was happiness to you is going to turn into a nasty blow to you very soon. The same children are going to turn around and bite your ass. Sorry, wrong word. I should not say these words. Because children may be listening, no? We have to bleep it. So thinking about these kind of things is wrong. It is a God-given child. What God-given child? You think God gives child like this, is it? Distribution agency, okay, you take one child, you take one child, you take one child. There are three kinds of children who are born. First, because of copulation. When you have sex with another person, you have children. Again, another bleep. Okay. Second one is called the mind children. They are the gods, godly ones. They are born out of the mind. Okay. I'm sure you have heard of the gods who were born out of the mind. The mind of Brahmaji created all these things. And then there is the third one. The third kind of a child happens just like that. That is Brahmaji himself. Okay, Swayambhu they call it. Swayambhu means came on its own. You have a lot of these, Shivji ka pindis all over the town, you must have heard them. People say, oh, this came all on its own. Yeah, of course. So there are three kinds of children that you can have. Now, which one would you like to have? I think the last one is the best, isn't it? Swayambhu, coming on its own. Maybe the God will just drop the child in your lap. Then he's not going to give you trouble anymore. So coming back to this, here there is a beginning and an end to all those things. There is beginning, it could be happiness, end, it could be misery. You can find out from even my guru's mother. Okay. You see, she wanted a child which she can stay with. At the age of 8, the son says, I am going away. And he went away. Dattatreya went away. His mother must be left crying, you see. Even Sai Baba's mother must have done the same thing. We have a great Shankaracharya's mother also doing the same thing. You see, you cannot develop these kind of attachments to anybody. Please understand this. You may be the God's mother also. These are great gods, isn't it? I'm talking about Shankaracharya and Dattatreya and all. These are great godly figures. Please. Their mothers also were attached. Don't get attached. It is going to be temporary. The misery or the moment of grief that is there, again, it is also temporary. Sometimes you feel joy, sometimes you feel pain, sometimes you feel anger, sometimes you feel upset. It's a yo-yo kind of a thing. And this has nothing to do with achieving the divine. You can never achieve God through this way. You go and bribe somebody in the temple and say, do this puja for me. Temporarily you are going to get a benefit. You know, when you go and do some puja, pay 501 rupees to that Panditji over there. Say, can you do this puja for me? And the person is going to, he'll do like this. And he'll say, okay, take this prasadam. And you take the prasad and you go home. Yes, what have you asked for? You have asked for a good rank. You will get a good rank. Then the next thing that you will have to go and ask for, another 501 rupees for, can I get a good college? And then the next time you have to go and give maybe 1001 for what? I should get the right course. After that you have to go and give another 5001 for what? I want to pass in my graduation level. And then maybe 10,001. I want to get a good job. What do you think? That is some systematic investment plan that you are doing SIP for the God over there? God is not sitting over there to run your SIPs, okay? Please understand this. Don't keep on going and asking him and irritating him, no end. Anyway, he is not listening to you. Who is listening is that Panditji is listening. But he is very happy you are paying him the money. Because anyway, God doesn't eat the food. Neither does he take the money. The money goes to this guy, right? So why is he bothered? He's on the contrary welcoming you. Next time you come with 1001, okay? Next time you come with 5001. Oh, next time 5001 plus 21 nariyals I want, this many hars, 5 kg of rice. God likes only basmati rice. Okay, or maybe get punni rice from Chennai. Okay, he doesn't like all these ration rice. God doesn't even eat, and yet you are going to buy the best of the. This is the stupidity. And this is what God says, over here. Krishna is saying these words. This is a temporary kind of gratification which you are going to get. Very soon you are going to be miserable. Miserable to the core. And they give to transient joy and are attended by grief. We'll do one more verse. We have just 5 more minutes left. This is verse 12, chapter 9, Uddhav Gita. My friend, how can one attached to sense objects have that bliss which a man with the mind given up to me and indifferent to all objects derives from me, their blissful self? So I am entering into a subject which we will take on further in the next week. What does Krishna say over here? Why are you comparing these material worldly people's blissful and the happy state to the person who is lost in myself? You see, an individual who is lost in Krishna is always happy. He is in a blissful state. So the blissful state person doesn't get angry. Does the blissful person not eat food? Do you think the blissful person doesn't write examinations? Do you think the blissful person say, I want to have baby? You think he doesn't do any of these things? Well, if he wants to, he can get all these things also. Nobody says he can't. But you see, the primary concern in his world is Krishna only. But it is done with this word over here. The word is indifferent. Indifferent to all objects. I think you understood this word. Indifference means what? You are not going to be biased with few, angry with few, and likable to few. You cannot say this verse is good and that verse is bad. In the beginning, when I said that you have to go for allopathic or ethical medicine, you see, I said it is important in today's day and age. Why? Because we are short of time. That coronavirus is opened his mouth wide like that. Okay? Today there is a problem. But if you can live for the next 20 years, please try Ayurveda and all the Vedas possible. Okay, go to homeopathy. You go to Ayurveda. You go to all kinds of new age medicines. Yeah, you can do whatever you want to if you think that it's nothing to do with coronavirus or all these viruses. Yeah, you are losing hair. Any which way you are going bald, look at your age. You are going to be bald very soon. Yeah. Bala, Ubala, like that, like that song if you remember. Yeah, you want to go to homeopathy, please go. Nobody says you can't go to homeopathy. Here Krishna is giving this condition. He is not saying that homeopathy is bad. What he is saying is, it's a long drawn issue. God even knows whether it works or it doesn't work. Right? If you have cancer and if you think it is going to get cured by yoga, you are completely off your rockers. No yoga can cure cancer. Yes, if you think you are in the first stage of cancer and you have got another 20 years to live, please go and do whatever yoga that is prescribed. Maybe you will live. You see, all this is called placebos. Alright? Placebo, you understand? All these medicines like, homeopathy and all, these are placebos. You take it and you think, I'm getting okay. I guess you will get okay because you have convinced your mind that you are fine. Because most of your diseases are connected to the mind and not to your body. So here Krishna is saying, can you become indifferent to all these things? What you got to do, you got to do. What it means is, if you have to go to the doctor, go to the doctor. Today early in the morning I got one message. Please save my child because he is suffering from some disease. What are you talking about? Go to the doctor. The answer is very simple, isn't it? Common sense will tell you that. You think I'm going to sit over here and do something like that, some rays from my hands are going to come and cure your child? Are you mad? Don't go under this kind of, misinformation. No God on this planet Earth is going to come and he's going to, create some magic like this. Today is not an age for magic. Wearing some kind of, nice, I am wearing this nice necklace, it has got these magical stones and the gems and something like that. Somebody wears it, some God wears it, so I am also going to wear it. Oh, that is going to cure you of what? My asthma. Is it? I didn't know that. Asthma is not connected to all these things. Asthma is connected to the allergies that you have. Go to the doctor. Got it? So become indifferent to all this nonsense. Alright, I am not saying that Ayurveda is nonsense. I am saying use that 25 paisa brain which God has given you. 25 paisa, 1/4 of the rupee. Actually, you have 1 rupee worth of brain, but you hardly use any of it. At least use that 25 paisa brain God has given. Approach the problem clearly with your mind. In the material world, this is what you got to do. In the spiritual world, if you want to come, that's a different story. You have to be completely surrendered to Krishna. 24/7, 365 days in a year, all your life. And then don't think about, I have got a placebo effect or this effect. If Krishna says, go to a homeopath, you have to go. Got it? If he says, go to an allopathic doctor, you go. And you don't question him. You don't question him. He says, go and buy the air tickets. You go and buy the air tickets. Go to the doctor. Go and see the doctor. It's simple. As simple as that. Don't ever think that you're doing something different. Surrendering to Krishna, being in love with Him, and absolutely being devoted to Him is a subject we will take up in the coming week. Please understand, you have to be 100% surrendered to Him. And you have to become indifferent to all other things. So, once you have that, you will derive the bliss from me alone. Krishna says these words, you will get the bliss from me. I will transfer my bliss to you. Okay, not my properties, my bliss to you. Okay, so I'm going to end over here, and please stay away from all the coronaviruses that are there. Stay indoors, be happy, and don't mix around too much. Alright, take care and watch my videos as much as possible. Take care of yourself. Bye. Have a nice day. Take care.